please have a seat so I can get us started? All right. All right. You want to try out that timer there? Timer started off just so that I can explain it as we get started. But first of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you for everyone that's here this afternoon. It takes a lot for an individual to step up and run for office. And I have a lot of respect for each and every one of the candidates that have stepped up, because it's not an easy task. And when you come into a political race, you have to be tolerant, you have to be respectful, and you have to be mindful of what the community needs are. And the whole idea behind this Q&A session, town hall meeting, is to bring attention to our candidates that are up for these coming primaries in March. And I'm thankful that everyone that is here today as a candidate is here. I know that several people have signed in or said that they were going to be here, but we need to get started. And if they come in, as they come in, my colleague, Mr. Jose Corpus, will identify the guidelines and the rules of the event. But first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Jesse F. Fuentes. I am with the Eagle Pass Border Coalition, and this event is being sponsored by the Eagle Pass Border Coalition in conjunction with the Eagle Pass Digital Art Society that helps us record and put the event on YouTube and the event on Facebook through Ms. Laura Sanchez. Thank you, Ms. Sanchez. And I'm excited about this opportunity. We had 3 town halls last year, and they were very well attended. And I believe that, you know, if you're a candidate and if there's an opportunity for you to present yourself, you should take advantage of that. So once again, I can't go out there and pat you on the back, but candidates, thank you very much for your hard work and the beginning of an incredible journey. And, okay, good. When you hear that sound, I asked my timekeeper to introduce the sound right in the middle of my speech. It's 2 minutes. So everyone that's going to be speaking today will get 2 minutes. Unless there's questions from the audience or from the press. But most of all, we're going to try to flow with giving everybody 2 minutes, fair and equitable, to respond. And like I said, we're excited. I was going to introduce the mayor because I spoke with him yesterday and he said he wanted to come by and say a few words. So hopefully during the process of the beginning here, he might show up and we'll have him possibly say a few words about his experience attending these candidate Q&A and town hall meetings. So we're going to continue with our agenda, and as of right now, I want to just basically provide an opening statement, and if you'll allow. The Eagle Pass Border Coalition welcomes you to our 2025 Candidate Forum. Our community faces major decisions that will shape the future of the Maverick County and the Rio Grande region. This forum was created to provide voters with direct access to the candidates who seek to represent us at the federal, state, and county levels. Today we gather to hear from those who want to lead our communities, those who will make decisions about economic development, public safety, environmental protection, border and immigration policy, and the future of critical infrastructure projects within our community and the essential part of preserving of the Rio Grande River. Our intent is simple. We want to inform the voters. We want to amplify community priorities. And we want to ensure transparency and respectful civil dialogue. And I want to thank you personally as a board member of the Eagle Pass Border Coalition. I want to thank each and every candidate that's here. And it's essential that you be here so that the democratic process evolves within our community. This is an educational process. The Eagle Pass Border Coalition is a 501c3 organization. It's a nonprofit organization. We cannot endorse a candidate, but we can try to educate the public about the candidates, who they are, what their visions are, what their thoughts are, how they want to represent you. So I'm thankful, like I said, once again. We're going to go ahead and continue with our agenda. At this time, there's 3 board members from the Eagle Pass Border Coalition. First is Jose Alonso Corpus, then it's Alicia Gonzalez, and of course myself, Jesse Fuentes. At this time, in order to do the presenting about the community norms, I would like to introduce my colleague, Mr. Jose Corpus. Thank you, Jose.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Just said, my name is Jose Alonso Corpus. I'm a volunteer board member for the Eagle Pass Border Coalition. And today, we're going to get acquainted into important community norms, right? So, first, to ensure a fair, respectful, and productive forum, we ask all attendees, supporters, and candidates to uphold the following community norms. First, respect. Treat all candidates and community members with dignity. No interruptions, shouting, or personal attacks. Maintain issue-based dialogue. Keep comments focused on solutions and community needs. No personalities. Time limits will be enforced. Candidates will have 2 minutes for introductions and 2 minutes per Q&A response. Moderator will gently but firmly signal when time is up. No campaigning in the room. No active campaigning, chanting, or campaign demonstration at the forum. Campaign material must remain outside the speaking area. Truth, transparency, and accountability. We expect honest, clear, and direct responses. Candidates may not personally attack others or spread misinformation. Community-centered space. This event prioritizes community concerns, including environmental, economic, and public safety issues related to the Rio Grande and the Puerto Verde projects. To keep things fair and organized, we had drafted this set of event rules and community norms to maintain order. We will allow one person to speak at a time. Interruptions, shouting, speaking out of turn, or using profanity will not be permitted. You will be asked to leave and/or will be asked and escorted out if you get out of control. We will not tolerate any type of hostile behavior. Everybody is welcome. We embrace an inclusive environment where all the voices can be heard respectfully. So thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and I'm going to pass it back to Mr. Fuentes. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jose. Those are the community norms of our event today, and we've in the past we've had these events, and they've been very successful. And individuals have presented themselves, and they have spoken about their visions and the responsibility. We're going to have an amazing program today, but I'm excited about the fact that one of our previous town halls, we had a young man that was running for mayor, and he did attend 2 of the town halls specifically for the candidacy of mayor of Eagle Pass, and I believe that the way he presented himself at that event was very professional and very successful. And I've invited him to our town hall today to say a few words to welcome you all to this event, and just tell us about his experience, about how he feels about these meetings where we talk directly to the voters and the residents of our community. So if you wouldn't mind, Mayor, you can come up and give us a few words. We'd love to hear from you.
Hello, everyone. So, yes, first, thank you, Mr. Fuentes, for having this. One of our main goals, or at least I think it should be, is finding community outreach. Like really trying to get as close as we can to our constituents to understand the needs. And having events like this really help us as candidates to reach our constituents and understand their needs. Because we have to understand that we live in a world where we want or have limitless needs with limited resources. And in this case, once elected, we have to find that balance to see what is our priorities and how we can help our community the best possible. So again, I thank everyone for being here and for aspiring to run for an elected position. And always count, and this is a county election as well, so I personally understand the need to have good communication with the county and with all of the elected officials. So I really welcome everyone to really let us know who you are, why you're running, what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing in the present, and what is it that you want for our community in the future. And thank you, Mr. Fuentes, again, everyone here present. Thank you.
Like I was saying, it takes a lot for an individual to come up and try to run for a position, an elected position, and I'm thankful that the mayor was able to be here and deliver such elegant words and try to inspire the candidates, because the candidates that are here will have their chance to be up here to present themselves and tell themselves a little bit about who they are and their goals. But before we do that, I do have to introduce our moderator. And I am very honored. I am very honored that we have Ms. Judith A. Canales, PhD, as our moderator this afternoon. I've known this lady for so many years, and I have always admired her from afar because she is a talented professional. And when I see her in charge at any event or presenting herself, she's always at the utmost pinnacle of perfection. And I appreciate that in her because she's a dedicated individual, and I've seen her throughout her career be very successful. I want to tell you a little bit about Ms. Judith A. Canales. Dr. Judith A. Canales is a skilled executive experience in leading federal and local government agencies and nonprofit economic development organizations. Her expertise includes public policy and financing of community and economic development, rural and urban development, housing, small business, workforce development, renewable energy, and agriculture. She is proficient in U.S.-Mexico border policies. Dr. Canales served in 3 presidential administrations. She was appointed by President Biden as a senior advisor at the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. Office of Field Policy and Management, where she worked with HUD's 10 regional offices, 54 local field offices, and 380 employees. Dr. Canales was appointed by President Obama as the State Executive Director for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Farm Services Agency, Texas State Office, where she led 173 offices and 700 employees and administered $7.6 billion in federal farm programs. She was the first woman and first Latina to serve as the Texas State Director. She was appointed as the administrator of the USDA Rural Business Cooperative Service in Washington, D.C., where she directed $8.5 billion in federal investment assisting 58,000 rural businesses, including rural manufacturers. She was appointed by President Clinton as the Deputy State Director of the USDA Rural Development Texas State Office and as a legislative representative for HUD's Office of Legislation in Washington, D.C. Dr. Canales directed nonprofit economic development organizations, including the Southside First Economic Development Council in San Antonio, the Eagle Pass Maverick County Economic Development Alliance, and the Maverick County Development Corporation. Dr. Canales was the national president of MANA, a national Latina organization, a graduate of the National Hispanic Leadership Institute, and the co-author of the National Council of La Raza report, The Hispanic Housing Crisis. She is a board member of BCL of Texas, a statewide business housing community development financial institution, and a member of the Eagle Pass Rotary Club. She received the Leadership Luminary Award from Leadership Texas and Women of Distinction from TAMAC. Dr. Canales received her Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, in Leadership Studies from Our Lady of the Lake University in San Antonio, a Master's of Public Administration from Harvard University, John F. Kennedy School of Government, a Master of Arts in Urban Studies from Trinity University in San Antonio, a Bachelor of Journalism from the University of Texas A&M at Austin, and an Associate of Arts from Southwest Texas Junior College, a native of Uvalde. She and her husband, Juan Antonio Tovar Jr., reside in Eagle Pass, Texas. Wow, with a resume like that, I am very impressed. Ms. Canales, thank you, and welcome.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. And MANA, which is the organization that I represented, which as short, of course, for being Hermana, but then again, we're on the border, so we think of Mana. Very cool, Jesse, very cool. Thank you. All right. It's indeed an honor to be a part of this effort here today, and congratulations to the Eagle Pass the Eagle Pass Border Coalition. I'm used to saying business all the time. Border Coalition for having the foresight to bring our community together and have an event such as this so that we can have and hear from candidates that are aspiring to lead federal, state, and local county government here that impacts Eagle Pass and Maverick County. So thank you all very much for your presence. Thanks to the board members, to Jesse Fuentes, Jose Corpus, Alicia Gonzalez that couldn't join us here today, but I was a part of meetings with them in preparation for us coming here today. So you all have received the guidelines for how we're going to proceed. And we're going to commence with putting up information about the different races so that we can all be informed as Eagle Pass Maverick County voters, because it's going to be up to us. And remembering that we're still in the period of filing, officially filing stops will cease on Monday, December the 8th, but we're here early, but it's important. And I look forward to perhaps having future sessions to continue with this conversation. Our first race that we're going to concentrate on focus on is the United States Senate. And up for election is the incumbent, John Cornyn, which we have listed here. Is there a representative from Senator Cornyn's office? I don't see one. Also, there are candidates that have filed as Democrats for this particular race, including State Representative James Tallarico, whose name is up there, but also former Congressman Colin Allred has also filed as well. So he's another candidate that will be running statewide, statewide for the U.S. Senate for Texas. Then I'm going to continue on with the next race. And so that race pertains to the United States House of Representatives. Our district is the 23rd Congressional District, and it has been 29 counties, of which Maverick is one of the counties within the 23rd Congressional District. And what's been interesting about this, you probably all have been hearing about Supreme Court decision most recently, which just stated that the redistricting that occurred this year, conducted by the Texas House, will be standing. And so there will be a difference in lines, and which is going to actually impact Maverick County. Because what will happen then is that we will have the Texas 23rd Congressional District and also the Texas 28th Congressional District as a part of Maverick County. And that will be, I think, an opportunity, Mr. Fuentes and the coalition, to perhaps reinvigorate and have a future event. But I want to recognize the 23rd Congressional District, and the incumbent is Congressman Tony Gonzalez, who is in office at this moment. That we know of, the congressman will have opponents in the Republican primary, including Brandon Herrera and Susan Story Rubio. That's for the Republican side, and of course they having their primary, of course, in March as well. Democrats announced candidates have been Santos Limon, and I think that there are other candidates that will be running for the 23rd Congressional District as well. Are there any representatives here today on behalf of the 23rd Congressional District? Seeing none, I'm going to proceed. And next, we will discuss the state of Texas. So may we now, thank you. And for those of you who are viewing us on camera, we actually have a PowerPoint up here so we can, we're going through class right now. And so that everybody can see who the candidates are. So now I will speak about the state of Texas. Another big race that is coming up for this year is that of Governor of Texas. And so the incumbent is Governor Greg Abbott, who is running for re-election. And there are other candidates that will be running as Democrats for that particular race as well, including State Representative Gina Hinojosa, she's based in Travis County in the Austin area. Bobby Cole, Nick Pappas, and Megan Thesselder are all Democratic candidates for Governor of Texas. Is there anyone present here today that is representing any of the gubernatorial candidates? Seeing none, I will proceed to the next race, which is Texas Lieutenant Governor. And the incumbent is Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, running as under the Republican Party. And under the Democratic Party is State Representative Vicki Goodwin, who's a state representative out of Travis County, and who actually visited here in Maverick County in the last month. And so those are the two candidates thus far for Lieutenant Governor of Texas. Are there any representatives here today regarding the Lieutenant Governor's race? Okay. Seeing none, I'm going to proceed now to State Senate District 19. So now we'll get into the House, the Texas House and the Texas Senate for our legislature. And the current incumbent is Senator Roland Gutierrez, who's based out of Bexar County, San Antonio, and he is currently the senator for Senate District 19. At this point in time, I do not have any candidates listed for the Republican Party, but as I stated to you all, there still is an opportunity for people to file through Monday, this coming Monday. Is there anyone here representing any of these candidates for the Texas Senate District 19? Seeing none, I will proceed and move to the Texas House District 74. And the incumbent is Democrat Representative Eddie Morales from Maverick County for House District 74. And under the Republican Party, I do not have any candidates at this point in time listed. Is there any representation here from Representative Eddie Morales? Seeing none, I will proceed. And I will now move into the county level races for Maverick County. And so for Maverick County, it's the county judge position is the first one we will discuss, and it is a 4-year term. And the incumbent at this point in time is County Judge Ramsey English Cantu. There is another candidate who is running as a Democrat here in Maverick County, County Commissioner Gerardo Jerry Morales. And then there is a Republican candidate, Ruben J. Camarillo. At this point in time, I am asking the candidates for county judge to please come forward to the podium. Understood. Thank you, Teresa. Please take a seat. All right. And assisting here with the microphone is Jose Corpus. It's a team effort. Oh, okay. So the first item that I have here is I will call up I will refer to the Democratic candidate Jerry Morales, and the first question is, will you please introduce yourself? And you have 2 minutes. And so, Commissioner Morales, thank you.
My name is Gerardo Jerry Morales, and I'm a candidate for Maverick County Judge. I'm also been serving for 12 years as County Commissioner, which was one of the most difficult decisions to make, leave my constituents. I still have a holdover for the next 60 days, and someone needs to get appointed, but we'll sure be in the ballot for the primaries. Thank you.
Now for the Republican candidates, I want to ask Ruben J. Camarillo to please introduce yourself. You have 2 minutes.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ruben Camarillo, and I am a candidate for the Maverick County Judge for the Republican ticket. Just want to thank the Border Coalition for doing this, to have us be able to tell you guys a little bit about ourselves, the parties that we're running and all so forth. I am running to of course, focus on the issues in Maverick County. Of course, I want to give everybody a chance to get to know me so I can connect with the constituents. I'm originally from Palm Springs, California. I moved here back in 2019 or 2020 and totally fell in love with this community. So thank you all for having me, and of course we're going to have an exciting race, and I want to get you all guys to know me despite partisan, despite what I do for a living, and despite what I do to serve the community as a journalist and a podcaster. I can't wait for you guys to get to know me. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Also running within the Republican primary will be Teresa Solis. Teresa, please, 2 minutes.
Hi, my name is Teresa Handerhan Solis. Most people that know me just call me Red. I'm from Austin. My husband Orlando Solis is sitting out here as well. We've been in the Maverick County community for about 15 years now. We've been on the border in general. 2007, we started out in Del Rio. I've never run for office, though I've spent my entire adult life, which is more than 30 years, in public service. I currently work for the federal government. I'm not allowed to disclose my position, but many of you probably recognize me. I wanted to approach this office because I find that there are many places in Maverick County that people are not being held accountable to the things that we are electing them for, the things that we are paying them for. And I find it very important that we have some oversight in the community to make sure that everybody's represented. We're transitioning to Quemado, so the whole Normandy Quemado area is underrepresented. The people on the outline, because we've always lived county, we've never lived within the city of Eagle Pass. So the people in the county, we don't really have a voice. And what I would like to do is try to figure out a way for everybody to be represented, not just the people that live in the urban area. Thank you.
Thank you all. And I'm going to proceed now with the slate of questions that we have for each candidate. So, the first question will be again directed towards Commissioner Jerry Morales. Why are you running for this position? 2 minutes.
So, I'm going to use those 2 minutes to explain my position on Puerto Verde, which I think is one of the most important issues today that we're gathered here. Back in 2018, a feasibility study conducted by Maverick County identified an alternative route for this rail project, approximately 8 to 9 miles outside of town. The intersection of Highway 277 and the future completion of Texas Loop 480. That location was not chosen randomly. It was selected because it could support future trade and infrastructure without displacing established neighborhoods or disrupting natural resources like Seco Creek. The new proposal cuts directly through established neighborhoods, places family called home for generations. These aren't just houses, they represent a lifetime of sacrifice. Removing them without fully exploring better alternatives would be a loss we can't undo. Let me speak clearly where Maverick County stands today on this issue. There's no formal contract, no agreement, no signed commitment, no clear benefit to our community. And yet the potential impacts from displacement to environmental strain are already looming over our residents. Economic growth is important, and cross-border trade matters, but not at any cost. I refuse to support any project that sacrifices the families and communities, especially when safer, better alternatives were already on the table and they were completely ignored. This isn't just about policy, it's about people. It's about families who have built their lives on these lands. It's about the business, the schools, the generations who have worked hard for what they have now faced uncertainty without having a seat at the table. That is completely unacceptable. I stand with our residents, I stand with transparency, and I will continue demanding accountability and results that prioritize the people of Maverick County and not just the paperwork of outside interests. Thank you, and we will not allow for contracts to be done behind closed doors. Thank you.
Candidate for Republican Party, Ruben J. Camarillo, 2 minutes.
Thanks again, Judy. I appreciate it. So I guess I kind of went a little off key and told you, I'm supposed to talk about myself and as to why I'm running. But I'll reiterate. We have a lot of issues in Maverick County that we have we have to take care of. Apparently this partisan, which is Republican versus Democrat, has definitely been a distraction in this county, and I want to reiterate that, and I want to really emphasize that I'm here to unite. I'm here to work with everybody, whatever group you're part of, whatever partisan you're part of. It's time to start coming up with complaints and actually coming up with solutions as well. That's why I'm running for county judge. As for me running under the Republican Party, those are my values. I'm not going to stray away from that. But again, this is about the issues in Maverick County for our constituents. I can't top what Jerry said about Puerto Verde right now, but I'm sure once we get the questions, we'll get into that, which is why we're here. But again, thank you guys so much, and thank you.
Again, the question is, why are you running for this position? And now calling up Teresa Solis.
I'm running for this position specifically because I'm interested in the resources of Maverick County and whether they are fairly allocated. Specifically, my issue as a landowner, my husband's issue, has been the resource of water. Okay, there's a water shortage here, and it's caused by a number of things. Some of it's on the Mexico side, some of it's on our side, but some of it is from a lack of oversight, which is my emphasis. It seems to be that people within this county work to their own agenda without talking to other people within the county that are affected by the same agenda, which I think is what these gentlemen were approaching as well. Specifically, the allocation of water, we've been greatly strained by the building of the border wall, the migrant crisis that we've been dealing with. There's the problems with the lake Amistad, and trying to deal with the dam there. But more importantly, as my husband and I have faced some issues that we've had with people who are in charge of allocating the water, we've been directed over and over again to the Maverick County Judge's Office, but we are not able to be heard, and we are not able to present our case, and we're not able to get answers. Okay, so this is something that we've had ongoing since March, and then we had another issue in August. And even though we've followed all the deadlines and filed everything appropriately, we haven't gotten any resolution in our case. The people that are supposed to be there to help us resolve never seem to be available. They have great staffs, great customer service, and they stay on top of their job. Unfortunately, the people that we are electing into these positions are not as attentive to the matters that are affecting the citizens, particularly the landowners.
The next question is, and some of you have already started to discuss this, but that's okay. It's all good. What are the most pressing issues facing Maverick County? I will call up again now Commissioner Jerry Morales.
As a sitting member of Commissioner Court, I think that one of the most pressing issues that we currently have is the lack of transparency. I think what we've seen for the last 3 years is everything doing behind closed doors. And the people need to know what's going on. Every single item that gets approved, every single contract that gets brought to the table should be completely open to our residents. If you want to know who got paid, how much they got paid, and when they got paid, it needs to be completely open because they're using our taxpayers' money to do that. I think that is one of the most pressing issues. There's a lot of them. Another one that I want to talk about is emergency services. And I want to take the time to thank the City of Eagle Pass for always being there for us and giving us that lending hand that we need with those emergency services. But I think it's time that the county starts looking in a different direction. We cannot be doing the same thing over and over again, year after year after year, and expect different results. We are at the mercy of the City of Eagle Pass. We need to become independent with our emergency service because right now we cause a burden to them and we put our lives at risk of our residents for not having adequate emergency services. And every 3-4 years, we're in the same place as we were. Our services are going to get cut off. We're causing issues with the city, and now our residents are in panic because they're not going to get those services. So that's what I think we should focus on. Emergency service is one of the priorities, and the lack of transparency. And there's a whole lot more. I wish I had a lot more time to do that. Thank you.
Again, what are the most pressing issues facing Maverick County? Ruben Camarillo, Republican candidate.
Thanks again, Judy. So one of the biggest, I believe, Commissioner Morales hit it straight the nail on the head, is transparency. However, there's a lot more to it. We can't cover it all in one setting. But I will say this, especially when it comes to public safety. Our sheriff's department is just totally depleted. Why? I think we all know why, whether it comes to personal vendettas or whatnot when it comes to our political officials. 3 deputies to control an entire county, that's ridiculous. 13 in general. Of course, we want to talk about overtime. Why is the sheriff's department getting so much overtime? Well, it's clear. Too much workload. Too much workload for just 3 deputies to cover an entire county. We see the Kickapoo with 11 covering just that area. Our county is way bigger than that. So that's one of the main things, of course, we want to focus on is public safety because, of course, our constituents deserve to be safe and whatever it takes. There are people that we can disagree with or that we don't like or that we don't see eye to eye with. But at this point in time, when it comes to taking care of our constituents and our community, we have to work together, plain and simple. And so, of course, there's with the transparency issue, so much funds that are not diverted where they're supposed to be. So as your Maverick County judge, we definitely want to make sure that we know where every single tax dollar goes. There's no excuse for that. We should know exactly where it goes and where it should go, and the community should have the say in it. Thank you.
The question, what are the most pressing issues facing Maverick County? Running as a Republican candidate is Teresa Solis.
I'm going to go with the theme of the day, gentlemen, which seems to be transparency. That is something that we're lacking, but I think it's a lot because we don't have adequate platforms instead of other issues. Facebook is absolutely vital to Eagle Pass. It's amazing. Those of you who, because I am new, would like to get to know me, I do have a Facebook page, that I leave open to everybody to ask questions, to comment, whatever. But Facebook is a social platform. Facebook is not a government website. And one of the things that I find is that we are inconsistent. Some aspects of our county have a very well laid out website, and I would like to see it go across the board. Every aspect of the county should have a website saying, this is the general manager, this is the person in charge, this is the person that we hired to do this, what duties of their position are, and what salary we are paying them. Now, in regards to what Jerry was saying about the contracts, I've done a lot of, in my dealings with the Water District, a lot of research into FOIA and what has to be disclosed in public meetings and what is discussed behind closed doors. Unfortunately, with contracts, especially contracts that are in the process of negotiation, that is not something that is mandated to be revealed to the public. Once the contracts go through, the contract content itself is available to the public. However, the amount of money that was spent is not something that's mandated to be available to the public. That's Texas state law. That's not something that we can get around, unfortunately. If people choose to reveal such contracts, they can do so. And on the issue of safety, which is paramount, I did not know that we were so lacking in the Sheriff's Department. That is something that should be addressed, definitely. But because I still have a school-age child, I'm very concerned with the issue of the safety of our children in our schools. This year it has been a very, very big deal. Just Friday we had another shooting threat at Eagle Pass High School, and this is something that is so commonplace now that it doesn't even make the news anymore. My son stopped showing me the videos months ago because they're so commonplace. But I do think that has got to be one of our top priorities is children in school.
One more question. The Eagle Pass Border Coalition is concerned about the condition of the Rio Grande River and the proposed Puerto Verde projects. How would you address these concerns? Again, I'm calling up Democratic candidate for County Judge, Commissioner Gerardo Jerry Morales.
I think that the whole community has seen what's happening out there with Puerto Verde, And I think it's time for them, and when I say them, I'm referring to our current administration, our current judge, to open the books again. Where is that ghost contract that he talks about in the meetings? He talks about a contract that we have in place. We don't have a contract in place. We don't know how this is going to affect, because every single member of the Commissioner's Court is privy to this information. We don't have this information. The most information that we can get from Puerto Verde, we get it thanks to forums like this, thanks to Mr. Corpus, to Mr. Fuentes for bringing all this out in the public. When we go out to the residents in Seco Mines and explain to me they're going to build a wall here, they don't know about it. And this is happening right in their backyard. When you go to the residents of Seco Mines and you tell them they're gonna start installing 63 miles of buoys on the river, and they're gonna mess up the barrier for the river, they don't know about this. Why? Because all this is hidden. All this is hidden with a hidden agenda that only protects the interest of those private investors. Guess what? Those private investors, none of them live here in Maverick County. They're going to come and invest and do their money and make their money and get out of here, leaving this burden here in Maverick County. And that's where we need to wake up. Once again, I thank this forum for bringing this out to light. And we need to really stay involved at the city council meetings, at the hospital district board meetings, at the school district, at the county, because this is where we can get the most information on what's happening in our community. Thank you.
Same question. How would you address these concerns in regards to the condition of the Rio Grande River and the proposed Puerto Verde projects? And I'm calling up Ruben Camarillo, Republican primary candidate.
Well, it's just plain and simple. Again, the theme is transparency. There's not enough. There's not enough. We don't know much about Puerto Verde. We need somebody that's going to negotiate, that's going to take this back and make sure that we work with our state representative to make sure that we have a voice in Austin. All right, so there's a lot of things wrong with this. And of course, I think there was a town hall, and I spoke to Jesse about it, and not enough of us knew this. This isn't about having a McDonald's or having a 7 Brews and just some more $9 an hour jobs. This is a project that can definitely change our lives. This is going to definitely change our lives, and it's going to definitely change our environment, the way our commercial infrastructure is going to be, everything. It's a totally huge project, and we need to know where everything goes, to the last dollar. We need to make sure that the environment, of course, we want progress. We want this progress. We want this to happen, but not at the expense of our residents, not at the expense of eminent domain, and not at the expense of our environment. We need to make sure that everything is passed, not just the presidential permit. We have endangered species acts. We have to make sure that everything's in compliance with noise and pollution. And when it comes to the buoys, and same thing with the buoys and the barriers in the Rio Grande. I am all for border security. As a Republican, I can tell you that. But not at the expense of our environment. So if we can put $1.9 billion for buoys, we can do that to make sure to have a safer alternative. It's like, for example, more manpower for Border Patrol. All right, more safety measures, making sure that we'll have more drone surveillance, riverbank lights, something that can assist Border Patrol in keeping our community safe and making sure that our environment is safe as well. Totally good alternatives for progress and for environment. We can do the same. We can be center about it. Thank you.
The same question. How would you address these concerns in regards to the condition of the Rio Grande River and the proposed Puerto Verde project? And I'm calling up now, please, Teresa Solis, candidate under the Republican primary.
Hi. I'm not at all in a position to speak about the bridges, but I sure would like to party at Shelby Park again.
We have gone through the first group of candidates, and so I'm going to ask if there are any questions from the audience. Thank you. Hearing none, thank you folks very much for coming up forward, and I'm going to move to the next group of candidates. You may be seated back here. these are our candidates for Maverick County Judge. I'm going to proceed now to the next group of candidates. First, I will call upon, with the fact that Commissioner Jerry Morales had to resign from the position for Commissioner Precinct 1, that will call upon now for an actual election. And that will be a special circumstance, but my understanding is that they will be on the ballot at some point. Is there anyone here today that is a candidate for Commissioner Precinct 1? Hearing none, then I'm going to proceed to Commissioner Precinct 2. And the incumbent is Roxy Rios. She's incumbent commissioner for Precinct 2. There is also another candidate under the Democratic Party, which is Rosie Cantu. And then there is a Republican candidate, Tom Carey. Are any of those candidates present here today? Seeing none, I'm going to move now into the race for Commissioner Precinct 4. And I'm calling up to the podium under the Democratic Party, Gerardo Hera Menchaca, Rodolfo Rudy Villalpando, Anilu Morales, Dr. Alejandro Esquivel, candidate Maribel Garcia Rodriguez. Are there any other candidates for County Commissioner Precinct 4? Please take a seat. Very good. All right. I am going to call up Rodolfo Rudy Villalpando to please come forward and 2 minutes to introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us here. My name is Rudy Villalpando. I was born in Eagle Pass, Texas, moved to San Antonio for a bit, came back down to help take care of my father. And when I was doing that, we talked a lot about the city, what it needs. And he's the one that influenced me to run for this position. So I really, really admire what he did for this city. So it pushed me to do this as well. I have a degree in finance, and I'm ready to look at what our county needs, because we're broke right now and we need different ways to find money besides just tax the citizens. And I thank you again for having us here.
I will now ask Maribel Garcia Rodriguez. 2 minutes, please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. My name is Maribel Garcia Rodriguez. I'm a citizen of Eagle Pass. I was born and raised here. I have been an educator for the past 33 years, and I've always had service. I've always helped out in the campaign some way or other. I always have wanted to get involved. It stems from my upbringing. My dad always tells us, if you don't complain and be a solution, haz algo, no sorbes. So with that, we've always been instilled that you want to get something done, you got to, pull up your sleeves and get to work. So many of you know me because I worked at Memorial, I worked at Liberty, and currently I'm working at EPH. And I love my country. I love my county, my city. I came back to raise my girls here. And service is part of what we do as an educator. Those of you that are teachers, we go above and beyond for our students. And now I want to go above and beyond for the students in Precinct 4. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm going to proceed now with our standard questions. The first question being, why are you running for this position? Rudy Rodolfo Villalpando.
Good afternoon again. I'm running for this position because we do need change in leadership. We need, again, to find different revenues of income besides just tax the citizens. We just keep seeing our taxes being raised, but we don't see much benefit of those taxes being raised. And again, what my dad taught me is the government should work for everybody, for the community, not just a certain few amount of people. And right now, I am running because I see that money is drowning out the voice of the people, and I know you guys are tired of it just like I'm tired of that. Thank you.
Again, the question, why are you running for this position? And it is now Maribel Garcia Rodriguez.
Okay, the reason I'm running is because I am coming towards the end of my education career. I want to move over, and I don't see myself just sitting on the sidelines. I've noticed that there is a big need, and I'm going to focus on Precinct 4. Obviously, we'll carry through the whole county, but in Precinct 4, there is a lot of need. It's been neglected because the focus has been elsewhere. They've been focusing all their attention on one certain item, and it happens to be the Puerto Verde, the lack of transparency that's going on. And unfortunately, the people that put this money in there are being neglected. It's their money. So I feel that somebody needs to be out there and advocate for the constituents. It's like they don't know about anything else, but I want to be their voice to bring their needs. They need to be able to, when I go or when Commissioner's Court is up there, they need to be able to trust the person there and say, you know what, she's advocating for me. It's not for the special groups or special group that represents a few. They're being also hurt, and they need to be able to trust the person up there by showing them, again, keyword, we keep hearing it, transparency. That's what they ran on, and it is not transparent when you will not come up and when they ask you, well, where is this money at? At the end of the day, it's not the judge's money, which he's the main budget director, as he probably says it. Where is the money? It's not your money. It's the people that sacrifice for those taxes that are raised. It's their money. It's not yours to go at a party and say, oh, I did this for a select few. We're not representing a select few. We represent the constituents, and they work hard for their money. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go back to the second question, which is, what are the most pressing issues facing Maverick County? Rudy Rodolfo Villalpando.
There's a few pressing issues facing our county. Again, our county is broke. We need more money, so we do need more revenues of income. We have relied on the city too much on our emergency services, which, like Mr. Morales said, is we need to cut that out, and we need to do that ourselves so that the people in the county will know that they will have emergency services going to them, because we do cause a lot of problems with the city. Lights in, say, 4D is a big problem. We don't have enough lights. We need better roads. We need more transparency as well, like everybody says. We just have to try to push Eagle Pass and Maverick County in a different direction than that of the few people making the decisions and the few people getting the benefits. I talk to people when I'm walking and I'm putting up signs, and I talk to people, and a lot of them don't understand what Puerto Verde is doing. A lot of people don't understand where the money is going. So our issue is accountability and transparency. Thank you.
Calling it back up again to the podium is Maribel Garcia Rodriguez. What are the most pressing issues facing Maverick County?
Okay, there is a lot pressing in Maverick County right now. Again, when I mean Maverick County, it's all of the county. I'm representing Precinct 4, but definitely it encompasses, it is in Maverick County. Now, the biggest thing right now is the lack of transparency, obviously, and right now for the Puerto Verde, that is one key subject that keeps coming up a lot because there is lack of transparency. So the citizens, when you ask them to go out and vote, they're like, ¿para qué? Van a hacer lo que les da la gana. Which, unfortunately, yes, once you get into office, they do what they want because we don't hold them accountable. We don't go. We need, as a community, hold our elected officials to higher standards and say, you said this, you said this. Where's the transparency? What are you voting for? How is it benefiting the county as a whole, not just your select few? I can then now go to Precinct 4. We're facing the public safety. That has to be a priority. Again, we're playing this game back and forth with the city. Why? We shouldn't be at their mercy. We should have our own. There is enough money, but we don't have a person that is resourceful enough to think outside the box and put the money where it should be, not where his friends need them to be. Go back to the county, do good what's right for the county. The sheriff is doing wonders with the little he has. He has been cut drastically. You've got one deputy up in Quemado they have a call up in Kickapoo. Think of the timeline, and they only have 3? And then your vehicles, he stripped out, but let's get some other agencies full with those vehicles. That's not okay. We need to hold them to higher standards and transparency.
The next question. The Eagle Pass Border Coalition is concerned about the condition of the Rio Grande River and the proposed Puerto Verde projects. How would you address these concerns? Rodolfo Rudy Villalpando, to the podium.
There is a lot of concerns with this project. First of all, everybody knows there's a lack of transparency. Second, the place that they're putting it just makes no sense. They're going to destroy a lot of people's homes that have been there for a long time. There's infrastructure in place, and there's already infrastructure in place where they can put the bridge. And if the city and the county if we're going to be the ones that are going to be pushing this, and it's going to affect us, I think the city and the county should own this, not Puerto Verde's holding, because we need to get revenues off of this. If not, if they build this bridge, the city's going to lose revenue, they're going to lose taxes, and it's going to come out of you guys. And then we're going to have to pay for this bridge, so we're going to lose taxes, we're going to have to pay for the bridge, and they're going to get everything. They want to cap taxes too, so where are we going to get ours? They're going to get everything. They're going to leave to Laredo, and they're going to pay their taxes in Laredo. We're not going to see any of that money. So I think it's important for the city and the county to own these bridges so that we can make revenue. And also, we need to start opening more booths in Bridge 1 and 2. It's always so crowded. I know that has to do with the Border Patrol and Customs, but we should talk to them about opening up more booths, because that would help traffic flow as well. Thank you.
Again, how would you address these concerns in regards to the condition of the Rio Grande River and the proposed Puerto Verde project? And again, it's Maribel Garcia Rodriguez.
Okay, as far far as the Rio Grande River, I'm not very well versed on that. My pressing issue has been the other issue. But anytime there is any discrepancy or you do alter anything to any natural resources, you tend to disrupt the natural flow ecologically. So that needs to be treaded very lightly, because it has to be researched fully because of the repercussions that having a buoy there will cause trickle effect down to ecological effects. As far as the Puerto Verde, I've been very vocal on this, and it has to be responsible development. As far as I see it right now, it is not responsible when you're not allowing the general public to come to the table. And let's call it more, let's vote on some things. Why not let the constituents decide? Why does it have to be just the ones in charge? Because we have to listen to our constituents. So let's bring it up and let's be, again, open and have transparency. That's the key word for tonight, apparently. We need to prioritize, analyze the potential negativity impact. And yes, the city revenue, the local city revenue is going to be affected. I mean, it's common sense. You take the revenue from one entity that we're so used to counting on that to pay things, and then it goes to a private entity. Who's going to have to meet that deficit? Us, the taxpayers. It's a no-brainer. Because I haven't seen any incentives where the private Puerto Verde is saying, oh, well, I'm going to contribute to this. I've yet to see that. The deal or whatever agreement was made is, as far as I'm concerned, is not a deal at all. It's one-sided, totally. So it will have a negative impact on local city revenue, and most importantly, on residential neighborhoods. It's going to be really greatly impacted.
Those are the final questions for this group. Are there any additional questions from the audience? Then we're going to get a microphone over to you.
Thank you, although I'm quite loud on my own. Rudy, you said 2 times you would like to see more money coming into the county other than taxing the people of the county, the working people of the county. What other ideas do you have?
There's grants and programs at the state and federal level that we can go and get. We usually do go get grants, but I've seen that we usually have to match the grant that we get. So again, we need to look for different grants, different programs, so that we don't have to match it every time. Every time we match, we lose money. There's a lot of grants and programs where we don't have to match that money, and we can get revenues coming in. We just need to have, I guess, better people to be able to do that for us.
Any other questions? Yes, please.
Hi, I just need to get clarification because both candidates mentioned that we're losing money, the city's gonna be losing money, which is 100% true because the benefit from the port goes to the city, it doesn't really go to the county. So I just wanna make sure that everybody's aware that that's the case. Am I right?
Yes.
What was your answer?
That all the revenue that comes from the port goes to the city and not the county. Is that correct, Mayor? Okay.
But because Maverick County is, Eagle Pass is inside Maverick County, definitely we are citizens, we do contribute to the city taxes. So yeah, it will affect us, whether we're Maverick County or not, it's gonna affect the city. If the city will affect county, we're intertwined, and that's why it's so important that we're on the same page. We don't have this one-sidedness.
No, I understand that, but as candidates, you guys are trying to bring light to whatever you can for the county, and so we have to kind of keep the city out of it.
Unfortunately, like I said, not unfortunately, but because Maverick County, Eagle Pass is in Maverick County, the Eagle Pass citizens vote for Maverick County. They pay taxes to Maverick County as well. So, citizens in Eagle Pass we're entwined. So it does affect us because the income, or correct me if I'm wrong, the revenue that comes in from the bridge is then going to go to a private entity. The citizens are going to have to then foot the bill, in essence, because it's like if it's $12 million missing, well, we have to figure something out. And like you said, there is grants out there that we can do for Maverick County to bring in there, but unfortunately, unless you have the right person at the helm that can manage that money, we can't even go for a grant right now because there is no money to be able to match, because there are some really good ones that you can match, but it has to come from somebody that's in charge that is really very well knowledgeable financially, that can maneuver things. We are in a big deficit, and we are greatly reduced in the funds that were there when current administration went in. So.
Any other questions? Thank you all very much, and thank you, candidates for County Commissioner Precinct 4. You may now take your seats back in the audience. Thank you. Continuing with our agenda, as far as candidates in Maverick County for political office coming up in 2026, the next position is Maverick County Clerk. The incumbent is a Democrat, Sarah Montemayor, and I don't know if there's any Republican candidates at this point in time for county clerk. And so, is there a representative for Sarah Montemayor here present today? Seeing none, we're going to proceed with the next position, which is Maverick County District Clerk. And the incumbent is Leopoldo Bielma, Democrat. And is there a Republican candidate for District Clerk? Seeing none, Mr. Bielma, please come forward. Mr. Bielma, the first question is, please introduce yourself. 2 minutes.
Good afternoon. First of all, it's a pleasure being here and a pleasure meeting all the distinguished candidates for these upcoming elections here in Maverick County. My name is Leopoldo Bielma. I'm currently your district clerk here in Maverick County. I'm accompanied here by my lovely wife, Rosa, and I have 3 children also here, and they're both already graduates from Eagle Pass High School, and they're out making their lives known accordingly. But I'd like to say that it's been a pleasure being a district clerk here since 2015. I had an opportunity when I retired from cable television, Carnet Cable, for those who remember, and Time Warner, that an opportunity came in to work for the county. From that position, I was asked to see if I would consider running for district clerk. We won our first election, and I think we've made several advancements, which I hope to have an opportunity with future questions to elaborate on some of our successes as district clerk. Thank you.
Mr. Bielma, why are you running for this position of district clerk?
Thank you again. It's been a pleasure, a sincere pleasure to work for the community, to be part of a solution, part of a ability to assist, in our case, the judicial system here in Maverick County. My main duties is, as a district clerk, to assist both the 365th and 293rd District Courts with Honorable Judge Amado Pascal and Honorable Judge Maribel Flores. With that, our offices have worked
tirelessly to improve the efficiency of services done between our office, which is the curator of all official documents, and work directly with our district courts and make sure that we have an efficient judicial system. Our offices have also tried and have successfully worked with Judge Maribel Flores in becoming a paperless type of service, which will again create a more efficiency within our court system. We've been working with the state in developing Texas e-file. We ended up bringing also a new service. I know my time might be running short. After I came in, we opened up a department for passport applications, which has been very successful and has brought revenue to our community to help assist in that type of funding to our county. And it's something that our office has been proud to introduce to our community. We've even developed just recently this past year, taking photographs for those applications, and that brings additional revenues to our office. Again, we've also developed an opportunity to pay our jurors a little bit faster by developing debit card payments instead of waiting weeks and months to get a check for the services made, which we appreciate the civic duty that people take into effect when they decide to join as a juror. But thank you very much for this opportunity.
Continuing with the questions, Mr. Bielma, what are the most pressing issues facing Maverick County?
Thank you. I can only speak to the responsibilities that we have as a district clerk, and as far as pressing issues, it would be the ability to be more efficient within our governmental agencies and making sure that the judicial system works as efficiently and as quickly as possible. How many times have you heard cases taking months, years, multiple years to get cases through the system? My efforts is to become more efficient, more electronically friendly. I understand that's where we should be going, and we should have also the security to make sure that these documents are taken care of efficiently and concisely, and with the ability to certify that everything is running as smoothly and as efficiently as possible. But definitely from a district clerk's perspective, we want to make sure that there's just more than just transparency. It is the act of meeting the needs of our legal community and the public in general. Thank you.
The Eagle Pass Border Coalition is concerned about the condition of the Rio Grande River and the proposed Puerto Verde projects. How would you address these concerns? Mr. Bielma.
I'd like to say I can only speak as a resident of the community, and I am not 100% happy with what I've seen and heard on how this is being transmitted to the community as a public. There are several questions that I do have, and I plan to ask these questions as I move forward with the candidates that are in place currently and in the future. So I don't have a problem with finding additional revenues. I don't have a problem with an additional bridge. I don't have an issue with the county owning this bridge. I just have an issue with getting more information on privatization and how that will benefit the community in general. Just because they're private doesn't mean that's a bad word. It just means that we just need to clarify what that means and how that benefits our community. Thank you.
We've completed the formal questions. Are there any questions from the audience? Okay. Mr. Bielma, thank you so much for your presence and participation here today. The next position is Maverick County Treasurer. The incumbent is Rito Valdez, Democrat. I do not know if there's no Republican candidates at this point in time. Is Mr. Valdez present here today? Seeing none, then I'm going to proceed with the next position is Justice of the Peace, place 1, and the incumbent is Democrat Gina Mancha. And is there a Republican candidate for place 1? Is there someone present here for that position? Okay. Then I'm going to please call up Judge Mancha. Judge Mancha, please, 2 minutes, introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. Thank you everybody for being here. I am Gina Mancha. I have been with Justice of the Peace for 20 years now. I have been an educator for 25, 26 years now, and a business owner. All these 3 things that have in common is helping the community. I have always been and felt that my duty as a Justice of the Peace is to serve my community, my constituents, Precinct 1, and help as much as possible. Key word is the community. We're here as one, and everybody that's here is for the same thing, for the betterment of our community. Thank you.
Why are you running for this position, Judge Gina Mancha?
Education. Not just in the school setting, but the law. Like I said, I've been a judge for 20 years now. I go to school twice a year for a judge to understand and learn the new laws that come in every single year, but most of all to educate our community. There are a lot of things that we can help in. There are ways that affect the community in senses where a simple thing as a ticket. I believe in community service, not just going to go work and go clean the road or what have you. Back to education. You get your GED, I can take that as community service. If you're in high school, if you're in college, bring your grades in, bring your attendance in. All of that counts as community service. We as a community need to help our constituents, and I do not want for the burden to fall on the community because somebody had to drop out of school or just decided not to go to school anymore. If we can help and we can push them to finish school and educate themselves in one way or another to better themselves, that is, I have done my job. I'm here for our community, not for anything else. Thank you.
What are the most pressing issues facing Maverick County? Judge Gina Mancha.
Issues. Oof. There's so many that are facing our community, Maverick County, Eagle Pass. I can talk about what is facing the issues in Precinct 1. What I as a judge work with, what I am allowed to be able to comment on, and that is the lack of insurance in cars, the lack of people driving without a license, people understanding that, you know, it is a privilege and an honor to be driving. Just because you know how to drive does not mean that you should be driving. I have parents that tell me, my son is 14 years old, he's a very good driver. Yes, ma'am, but he should not be driving. The law says you have to be at least 16 or with some type of special license. Those are the issues that I deal with as a judge, as a justice of the peace, and those are the issues that I need to get to my constituents out. You know, anybody can also, you can sue whoever you want, but you have to do it correctly. Not just because it is my amigo, I know I'm going to win. We have to follow the law. Whatever the law says is what I, as a justice of the peace, have been following for 20 years. My motto since day one has always been, do not violate your civil rights. To the best of my ability, that's what I try to do, not to violate anybody's civil rights. Thank you.
The Eagle Pass Border Coalition is concerned about the condition of the Rio Grande River and the proposed Puerto Verde projects. How would you address these concerns? Judge Gina Mancha.
a judge, my job is to give an opinion. And whatever cases we have, it would be unethical and improper of me to give an opinion on Puerto Verde, because if it were to any type of case fall between my court, in front of my court, I cannot put my private feelings one way or another. So at this time, I just must say that it would be improper for me as a justice of the peace, a sitting judge, active sitting judge, to give an opinion on anything that might fall between the court.
Those are the standard questions. Are there any questions from the audience for Judge Gina Mancha?
Hi, I've been asked, what are your hours, because it's difficult to reach you, so what hours do you keep since you do have a full-time job and you are the JP?
Yes, ma'am. My office is open from 8 to 5. Sometimes we stay till 6 or 7. Now, here's the thing. When you are a judge, you cannot talk to anybody before they plead. Whether you have a ticket, you need to plead first before you can talk to the judge. Why? Because it is unethical and against the law for me to be able to talk to you, whether you want community service, whether you want to pay, whether you want deferral, without you pleading. So the very first thing is to plead. One thing that people always want to do is talk to the judge because they're going to go to their neighbor because their dog is biting on the fence or what have you. It is against the law for the judge to talk to anybody that's going to go before the court, because I need to be unbiased when the court is seen. So no, I cannot talk, as much as I would love to, I cannot talk to anybody until we go to court. So my hour, I am there, ma'am, every single day. I might not be there in the mornings, but I am there every single day. I work in the afternoons, I work at night. I get calls at all hours of the night to go magistrate, to go pronounce people, to go do my duties. Yes, I am there. Now, the thing here is, I need to follow what the law indicates. And a lot of the times people are like, because you're not there, I wanted to talk to you about my case. I cannot do so. I cannot talk to anybody before the case is heard, because then I would be violating somebody's civil rights.
Okay, great. So what are your hours that if somebody does want to come and talk to you, what times are you available?
I'm there from 3:30 to 5:36. They can go and they can talk to me.
Thank you.
But, like I said, if
Right.
they want to...
Random, whatever they want to ask that doesn't have to do with the case, you are available from 3:30 to 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
But as a judge, I cannot give any legal advice.
Thank you. You know, Judge, you're getting a lot of questions here, so I'm gonna break the tiebreaker here. I've been doing this for 20 years. As a judge, as a small business owner, and of course as a journalist aspect, we want to ask, how much more left does Judge Gina Mancha have in the tank? And I'm sure your beautiful family wants you to take a break once in a while. Are you going to do this forever? Or is one of these days you're going to say, you know what, it's time to retire?
Good question, sir. As long as my constituents want me there, I will serve them with honor and the privilege that I have for the last 20 years. 50 years old, 51, going to be 52. The jovencita, I have many more to go.
Are there any further questions? Thank you very much, Judge Gina Mancha. Continuing with our agenda, and the next position is Justice of the Peace, Place 2. I wanted the slide to be forwarded. There we go. Justice of the Peace, Place 2, Ernie Leja, and Precinct 2, incumbent Democrat. Is Mr. Leja present here today? Okay, I will continue. Justice of the Peace, Place 3, Domingo Rodriguez, Precinct 3-1, incumbent Democrat. Is there any Republican candidate?
Oh, I'm sorry. I do have a candidate, but he's not here at the moment.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Sona. Okay. Justice of the Peace, Place 3-2, Jeannie Smith, incumbent Democrat. Continuing on, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 3-2, challenger, Alfredo Sotelo. Justice of the Peace, Precinct 3-2, challenger, Democrat, Brianna Salas. Okay. Continuing on, Justice of the Peace, Place 4, Tere Hernandez, Precinct 4, incumbent Democrat. Continuing on then, District Judge, 293rd Judicial District, the Honorable Maribel Flores, Democrat. Anyone representing Judge Flores? District Judge, 365th Judicial District, the Honorable Amado Abascal, Democrat. Anyone representing his the judge? Continuing on, Democratic Party Chair, incumbent Juanita Martinez, Democrat, and other candidates are Dean Contreras, challenger, Democrat, and Roger Mancha, the challenger, Democrat. Are any of those folks present? No? Republican Party Chair, Sandra Sandy Sassano, Republican, present. Madam Chair, please come forward. For the Republican Chair, Sandra Sandy Sassano, please introduce yourself. 2 minutes.
Hello, thank you for this opportunity. So my name is Sandy Sassano. I grew up in Eagle Pass, moved away and came back. So I've been a Republican chair since 2022, and I've seen the recognition grow for the Republican Party, so we're happy about that. Right now, currently, we do have candidates, and we want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity. So that's where we're at.
You are running for re-election.
I am.
Why are you running for this position?
I feel that I'm impartial and I can be fair to everyone, including the Democrat Party. There's quite a few that I am friends with, and I respect their opinions and their values. And I think as a community, we need to get along regardless of party. So I think there's a level of respect that we need to get beyond. That's it.
What are the most pressing issues facing Maverick County? Ms. Sassano, Republican Party Chair, 2 minutes.
I think that the biggest topic and the biggest problem we face right now is definitely Puerto Verde. I always get that confused. Anyway, so it's going to affect so many people. And the fact that we don't have a contract is scary. So you can't have a lease of a landlord and have the tenant have the contract, right? So we don't know what's going to be in there, but we are responsible for all that. So the presidential permit says that Maverick County is responsible for the upkeep of the bridge, but they're going to turn around and give it to a private entity. So they're going to generate all the cash flow. They're going to have the ability to have eminent domain, which means that people are going to be misplaced from their homes. And that private person is going to be able to tax us. We live here, and he's going to tax us, but we don't get to get any of that money. So it's a big red flag. It's going to affect the environment, the traffic, and it's a huge problem. So I'm trying to bring awareness to this beyond Maverick County. And recently I was at the governor's mansion yesterday, and I did speak to the mayor, and there was a documentary that started for Maverick County. You guys will be seeing that soon, on what the effects are and how it's going to make a major impact for us here locally. And so we have to move forward, and that's one of the biggest things. The other financial situation, you know, it's not possible that we get state tax credit, but Maverick County doesn't. Where is that right?
Chairwoman Sassano, you've already started to speak about, but I will have to make the statement. The Eagle Pass Border Coalition is concerned about the condition of the Rio Grande River and the proposed Puerto Verde projects. How would you address these concerns? 2 minutes.
First of all, we the people are the ones that maintain the city. And we were never allowed to vote on it. Recently, we just had an election, a constitutional election, and Val Verde put it on their ballot for their voters to vote on. And it was their choice if they wanted it and where they wanted it. They wanted it on the north side or the south side. But they had that opportunity to do so. We didn't have that. They tried to put it over our heads, and we don't have a voice, and they get into position, and they think they rule the world. Well, no, they work for us. You guys work for us. The ones that are in power right now work for the residents, the taxpayers.
Those are the formal questions. Are there any questions from the audience for Chairwoman Sassano? Chairwoman Sassano, thank you very much for your presence here today. Well, folks, thank you all so much. We have come to the end of our program, and once again to acknowledge the Eagle Pass Border Coalition under the leadership of their board members, Jesse Fuentes, Jose Corpos, Alicia Gonzalez. I am here as the moderator and as a volunteer, Dr. Judith Canales. The concern here today is for the civic participation of all of us here in Eagle Pass, Maverick County. We all have a stake in our future, and it's incumbent upon us to move and to make a difference, and certainly by expressing our vote. Voting will begin the middle of February for early voting, and continue, of course, until the first Tuesday of March 2026, which to me is around the corner. So with that, thank you all so much. We look forward to a future session, perhaps before that early voting starts. I'm planning to see Jose and Jesse, for this effort here today. Thanking also the Eagle Pass Business Journal for their presence, KINL, KEPS, 94.3 for their coverage, and just for those of you all candidates, thank you for stepping up and coming forward and for your continued service. Mayor Valdez, thank you so much for your presence here today as well. And I hope I've covered all of the acknowledging everyone who's participated here today. Commissioner Morales, exactly. Thank you for your presence. Again, I would starting to name all of the good people that are here But in total, really it's about our community and just appreciate the volunteerism. Thank you all for joining us and have a wonderful rest of the day. Gracias. Oh, and before we break, we would like to, if everybody would come forward, we would love to have a picture.
Yes.
All right, thank you.